Hello, it's me, it's Anne. Welcome to another video. This is a continuation of sort of my editing of Project Star, my sci-fi horror, which is very fun. It's very cosmic horror and like isolation alien vibes. It's very fun. We're at the point where I finished my read through in the last video, which means that it's time to actually go through and like take all of my notes in my draft and like actually make them mean something. So instead of just being like, oh no, like, I want this to be more like this, or what if we do this? I take them and I turn them into something actually like workable. So that's what we're doing. I've got a whole bunch of notes and I've been going through and just making a reverse outline where I put down the scenes that I have. I make notes about the things that I want to change within like the little cards for the outline. And then I like add scenes if I think there needs to be some. Like in the beginning I found that I was missing a lot of character development of the side characters, so I added like a bunch of scenes between the main character and the side characters, or stuff that's been overheard, like, you know, all that stuff. I also have some like really big picture changes that I want to make, so that's what we're doing. So I've been writing this reverse outline and I'm about halfway through, which is taking me a couple of days to get that far for like other reasons, but also because there's a lot of changes I want to make. There's a lot of new scenes I want to add. There's a lot of new like threads I want to like foreshadow in the beginning because I feel like they'll pay off really well later on. And once we're done with that, I'm going to be able to go and print out the actual thing I'm going to edit. But also the first thing I really want to do after I finish doing this reverse outline is I want to take like a few days to just write a little snippet of each of the characters from their POVs and just like figure out more of like their characters and all that sort of stuff. I want to do it for all the side characters, everyone who vaguely shows up, whether it's in the past or at the current time. But for now, we're working on the reverse outline. So I will come back and I will update you. Hopefully I will be finished by then. I'm around this far. This is what I have left. Glorious. But it should be really fun, so I'm hoping I can finish typing up this reverse outline over the next day or two. You would think it wouldn't take that long, but I am adding a lot of like extra scenes between the different characters, and so I have to like really figure out how that works in my brain before I actually add it. And also I've recently become addicted to Repo, so I've been playing it so much, it's so bad. Yeah, that's what's going on with me. So I will see you probably in a couple days when I finish. Maybe not when I finish, when I have something else to say. Hello. So I am back, I've returned. It's actually been a bit, but I finished the reverse outline. So I think, yeah, I think that's where we ended off. So I finished my read through and that went well. I got like a lot of fun information from that, and then I went and I concatenated that information and I put it into a reverse outline. But it was really nice. I went through and I ended up with 35 chapters, so that's nice. I added a whole bunch of scenes at the beginning, and I ran into the problem I kind of always run into after I do my first read through, is that like I want to change everything. I want to change every single piece of the book. I want to be like, okay, there's a way to do this better, let's figure out how to do this better. And it's just that is not super helpful in terms of like actually making things better. Like sometimes that can be very valuable, but sometimes it's just like a wee bit too far. I think I was on one of the chapters and I was like, there's a plot hole in this one. And I don't think there was. I don't think there was a plot hole in this one. And so I had all these changes I had planned for that chapter based off of my notes, and I got to it and I got to actually like typing up what I had planned and the outline and everything, and I ended up not doing like most of that. I started outlining it and I was like, oh, I don't like this is not fun. So I got rid of that, and I realized that the thing that I was thinking of as a plot hole is not actually a plot hole. There's a very good reason why they have to do it that way, and so I gave them that reason why. And so I think that will be better. There was something similar I did in one of the earlier chapters, and no one else is gonna think this is a plot hole but me. So, but there's just something like wonky. It was just way too dangerous, and I was like, yeah, we could do it this way, but this would be like a really dumb way to do it, so let's just like not do it the dumb way. So we're doing it in like a bit of a smarter way, and it's going to make things more scary but also like less scary, I guess. Like it's gonna really rely on my ability to like write the horror, which is going to be so much fun. I love having to like rely on these things. It feels like a challenge. I feel like I'm challenging myself to like do something really fun when I get to it. So I'm excited about that chapter. chapter, even though I think it's going to be like challenging and like difficult to like actually make good. And I finished all of that and I'm really pleased with that. And then I know I was chatting a bit about writing like little scenes from different perspectives of people. Went ahead and did that. So much fun. I love like head jumping into like different POVs on like these small scale things because they're all so interesting. Like they're all so different, and I don't know what it is about writing from someone else's POV that I like get to understand who they are in a way that's better than when I write about them from someone else's POV. It always feels like this revelatory thing where I finally get to understand what's happening and what's going on in their brain and like what made them who they are today. And I wrote some very toxic people because I needed understanding about these like toxic people. So I was like, let's go and write a little POV of her ex and see what her ex is like. And her ex is a terrible person, but that was very helpful. And then I went and I wrote the POV from like this other person, and that's always fascinating. I love writing from that specific POV because it is like, I don't know if this is spoilers, it's definitely not. That POV is like, what is it? It's like first person plural. So it's like everything is we and us, and it's really fun. I really love that point of view. It's so like fascinating to kind of like write it. I'm really happy with how it's turning out, and I printed out outlines. Now I have it all ready, and then I printed out the story itself, so that's ready. The only problem is that like I feel so unmotivated for writing it. I've been thinking about it and I kind of know why, and I think it's because the like main character's POV is very cynical, which I love. I love that cynical like tone and voice. I think I need to make like the first part of the book at least a little bit more hopeful. The cynical nature of her is there. Like that's kind of a lot of who she is and how she views the world. But I want it to be more hopeful at the beginning. That's something I really need to go and change. But I think it's gonna be a little difficult for me to like actually write like that because I'm gonna have to get rid of a lot of lines I really like. Maybe there's a way I can save them like later on, but there's a lot of stuff that needs to get like slightly tweaked, and like her POV is going to be very different in how it like is actually represented. So it's gonna be super fun. I'm really excited about that. But yeah, that's what's going on. I'm having like a long adventure with all this stuff, so it's time to actually start doing the edits. And here's the first page right in my hand. The time has come for me to write a new first line, since my old first line is not going to stick around because of the character changes. But it should be fun. Anyways, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try to actually start this. I'm not gonna let my fear stop me. I'll see you in a couple days. Hello. So we've returned. I have like done some editing, which is exciting. I always like this part of the process of just being able to light edit. The beginning of this book is better written than my last book. So my first draft of my last book was like huge amounts of edits all over the place for like pretty much full rewrites of almost the first third of the book. This is not the same. Though like I'm getting to the first scene in my outline where I'm doing like a full new scene, so wish me luck there. And it should be fun. I'm excited. I'm doing like big changes in terms of like the writing, just in terms of like character development and like characters are in their emotional journey, giving them like different steps that they have to take. So there's a lot of changes there. But I've done some of the edits for the first one, which is nice. And then I have 2 new scenes. Yeah, I have 2 new scenes for the end of chapter 1, and then I'll be done with chapter 1. So that's really exciting. I don't know if I'm going to finish that today because it takes me longer to write the scenes than it does to edit typically, though this first beginning part of editing was like more difficult than usual. I think this is like a lot of different reasons. I think I've been kind of stressed lately and, you know, a little out of it, and so editing has kind of been on the back burner of my mind. It's nice to be getting back to it and actually like doing it and editing it, so yay. Yeah, so that's where things are going right now, which is really fun. It's really nice to be doing that. But now that I've done that, I can go back. It's interesting because this is kind of a negative character arc. Like the main character, what she wants is what she needs, right? She really wants to like heal from the things that have happened, and she needs to do that in order to progress forward. But like it's gonna be a struggle for her. She's not gonna really succeed. So that's gonna be really fun to write and like edit, because I always feel like when I'm editing, this is the point where I really get to like strengthen that character arc and where I really get to strengthen the themes of it and just like make it more cohesive. This is the point where I feel like I can make those really fun and really nice and kind of thread it through the entire book, now that I know like the details of her process and like the where it ends. The main character has like an ex, and I kind of softened the ex a little bit. There are some things that are gonna change as a result of all of this. One of the characters who I think was probably the most like me, which is why I like killed them off earlier, the earliest. But like one of the characters that's the most like me, she's going to morph into being like different from me because that's what the story needs and that's what makes more sense for her character and everything like that. And also it's just like, now that I've written in each of the characters' perspectives and POVs, I really feel like I understand them better. It's a lot easier for me to like write them because I know where they're coming from, which is really nice. So I'm really happy about that. They also have more of histories and backstories than they did before, more motivation. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm really glad that I did that. Even though I was kind of like, oh, do I really have to write these POVs? And I was like, yes, self, you really do, because it's gonna help a lot. And it did. So that's what we did. Even though it's a bit slow going because I've gotten a wee bit obsessed with a video game. It's Repo, in case you were curious. But I've gotten a wee bit obsessed. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this. But I am taking it very slowly. And I'm like allowing myself to take it slowly. But you know, sometimes life is just a little overwhelming, so I've been taking more time off of it. But I am getting through it, which is exciting. I will see you in a couple of days when hopefully I will have more updates. Maybe I'll be finished with chapter 1, probably not, but maybe, you know, we can live in hope. But anyways, I'll see you in a couple days. Hello. Oh my goodness, I just realized this is not straight. Do I care enough? I probably will care when I'm editing it, but right now I don't think I care enough. So anyways, oh my goodness. Okay, I need something to fiddle with. Hello, I've returned. So I went and I edited the couple scenes, and then I went and I started to write one of the scenes I had planned. And it's so interesting because for me personally, I find like this part of the writing process the most difficult. Not necessarily the like editing or like the line edits or like the creating a new outline or anything like that. Or even writing like the first draft. It's writing these new scenes that are just like completely new out of nowhere based off of an outline and like plans I have in my outline, like very strict plans, because it has to rely on everything that I've written before and it has to like hold up to all of that. And so I find it really difficult and really intense, but it's also very fun. But I'm enjoying it. I think it's fun. I really like how this story is like unfolding. The like characters are stronger. Like I feel like I have a better understanding of what the characters are doing, which is really nice. I can feel that it's made the characters stronger, that it's made them feel like more complete characters. Just giving that extra time and effort to really like think about it, which is really nice. I'm happy about that, and that's really fun. So yeah, that's where it's going. I think sometimes whenever I first start editing a story, I get this feeling of like, or maybe not whatever, maybe just this one, but I got this feeling of just like, is this even the right book for me? Is this even what I should be writing right now? Like, is this even the right direction for me, I guess? Hopefully I will finish chapter 1 relatively soonish, but I'm not gonna put any expectations on me. Any small little bits of progress is good progress, and I'm proud of that. But I only have one more scene before I get to the next chapter, and I spent a lot of last night just kind of like dreaming about it and thinking about it and what I wanted it to be, and I think I have some ideas. I really love this planet they're currently on. They only stay on it for a little bit before they're out in space. But I love the like world building around this planet and how strange it is, and that's like, that makes me really happy. And I think this scene can really like make it very clear how strange it is. But yeah, that's how it's going. That's where the progress is. Have one scene until I'm done with chapter 1, so really excited. Chapter 1 out of 35, I believe, so it's gonna be a long process, and that's good. It's always been a long process, this draft too, because there's a lot of stuff I always want to change, and there's a lot of like character stuff that I really want to like make really strong in the second draft, and like line edits are just fun. Though I won't get to do like pure line edits until like the third draft, which I may do before showing it to people, but I do like showing it to people after the second draft. But we'll see how I'm feeling emotionally at that point in time. So now we're just doing it like right now. This draft is all mine. It's really exciting. But anyways, yeah, that's like the end of this video. I'm going to go ahead and keep editing, do my best to make this book better than it was before. Doesn't need to be great or anything, but I would like to see the progress of its improvement, you know, like that would be awesome. So that's my hope. I will let you know next time. We're gonna consider chapter 1 almost done. We have one scene left, so thank you so much for hanging out with me and for being a part of this journey and this adventure. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was good times, and I'll see you